would like to thank you for joining me this afternoon. This is LineVreven. She is the new Executive Director of the Optometric Extension Program Foundation. Thank you for joining me this afternoon, Lynn.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure meeting you again digitally. I'm still looking forward to the possibility of meeting you in person.
Eventually, it's going to happen. Lynn started as the new Executive Director late last year, so she's now into her third month, and we really wanted to take this opportunity in the editorial to introduce her to you, the readers and the world, and to kind of let you get to meet her, and eventually she'll get to meet all of you. So Lynn, can you tell us just a little bit about your background?
Okay, so by training, I'm an international lawyer. I then moved myself into what I would call international government service as an international diplomat, and I strayed from that by joining the American private sector. Since then, I've worked in a large variety of organizations, mainly to sort of expand the brand, expand the breadth of the organization, look at how we could market the organization better and more successfully.
Wonderful. And what was it about OEP that intrigued you about this position?
What intrigued me actually is the mission and the fact I came out of pharma, I came out of big pharmaceuticals and innovative medicines and international healthcare. And that has been a focus of mine for a number of years. When I looked at the optometric extension program, it struck me that is sort of a fit in the sense that you're very much focused on how you can give therapies to people, how you can help people with specific injuries, how you can make this more patient-centered, more patient-focused, and that you do that with a lot of zeal and dedication. And I must say that now, 3 months into this position, I'm not at all disappointed. I discover a lot of dedication and enthusiasm and drive in trying to get that mission and do that mission.
Wonderful. So, obviously you've been at it 3 months. Is there something about OEP or its members that has surprised you that maybe you didn't know before you took the job?
I would say the willingness to look at things, the willingness to discuss problems among each other, the expert level, the expert exchange that you have, the quality of the publications that you have, the quality of the courses that you present to people, how you always try to reinvent specific courses on specific topics. I think it's very enriching. I was actually very pleasantly surprised with that.
Wonderful. And so what are some of the main topics or areas that you've been working on, or you really see as our main thrust for the next year or two?
So one of the things I was focusing on is not only to look at what membership and membership benefits are and how membership translate into this organization or why people are becoming members, because I think it's linked to the brand and the recognition of who you are and what you're doing. So one of the things I want to do is sort of move more of it into the 21st century so that resources are more digitally accessible, that it's easier for people to reference and look up reference material, but also perhaps have a chat group, have more resources that can be found online. I think that would help people to have more of those discussions, but also attract the members more towards us in seeing us as a resource for the vision rehabilitation services that we offer.
Very cool, very cool. As you know, it's near and dear to my heart, publishing the journal and working on a lot of the quarterly publications. We're looking forward to getting more digital and advanced as we go. Do you see some of that maybe perhaps being brought to the courses somehow, or the education?
I think that is definitely something I want to look into, and for that I need to have perhaps a little bit more of a deeper understanding of the courses and the way it's structured at the current moment. But I think that the possibility of having the material online, having people reference the material online, having a set of course, material that is easy accessible definitely is something that we should be looking into.
I think it's so easy to get hung up on any organization's weaknesses, but what are you finding are the strengths of OEP so far?
Or the what?
The
Of OEP so
strengths,
far?
the strengths of OEP.
I think the strength is in its enthusiasm, its mission, the willingness to put patients in the center. I think the weakness that comes out of that is that for a long time you've been doing all this good work, but you haven't really been bragging about it. And I feel it like it's going to be my task to sort of brag about this a little bit more in different circles, to get this brand and the recognition that you deserve up, because you've been doing all this, but you haven't really talked about best practices, good examples, human interest stories about how this has changed people's lives. And I think that is a part that needs to come out of who you are, who we are.
Very cool, very cool. Now, one I know, helping to bring you into the organization, I do know one of the kind of the fun things in your background. You were knighted, if I believe, is that correct?
That's correct. I was knighted twice, actually.
How did that come about? How did that happen?
Well, I got knighted twice for services to the country.
Which country?
Belgium.
So
I got knighted twice for services to Belgium. I also got the highest award in Austria for services to the Austrian government, and I got one from Italy and one from the UN. Now, I can't go into details of what the reasons were for this, as you can understand. Some of that is pretty confidential. But most of it pertained to humanitarian and human rights and political negotiations on that subject. Oh yes, and I forgot I got the Friendship Medal from the city of Shanghai.
So how many languages do you speak?
I speak 4 languages fluently and 3 languages not fluent. I have some understanding in that.
So obviously English you speak fluently. What other languages?
I have English, French, German, Dutch, Flemish. Then I have a good understanding of Afrikaans. I have some Spanish and some Arabic.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing. So how does the fact that you are a lawyer, how does that come into play, or do you think it will benefit you in this position somehow?
How it comes into play is that I find that we need to make sure that some of the agreements that we have put out in the past are more written up and have better, I would say, conditions attached to it, and that we need to look at it more closely to the conditions that in the services we offer, and that we have to be the same across the board on the contracts that we put out. But that is something I'm still learning. It's pretty early day to sort of give you an answer or a straightforward answer at the moment.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Lynn, you are a lawyer and you have a tremendous international experience. How do you think that benefits the organization?
Well, I know that OEPF has been for a number of years now going outside the U.S., wanting to get more into the international scene and sort of do more courses, more material, more conferences in order to create an international community. I think my international background, which is such a tremendous international background and spanning so many continents, is sort of a natural fit to that work. I can see a lot of future for OEPF in that sense, that contacting similar organizations, working together with similar organizations, but also getting into source materials and spreading the source material that you have already on the shelf as publications. Notwithstanding that, I think that there is still a lot of work that needs to be done domestically. as well in the organization. I do not want to put one over the other. I think that both are equally very important to focus on.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're battling some back issues, which I obviously understand. So go back and lay down, and look forward to eventually getting to meet you in person.
Absolutely, Mark. I will be so happy to see you face to face finally. Thank you.
You got it. Take care.
You too.